We hope everybody has their apples and their Shinigami eyes this week because we're talking about Death Note. Netflix's Death Note. And Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles.
Ugh.
Ellie, what are you writing?
Writing Tommy's name on this piece of paper a million times.
Are you writing a way that he dies?
Death by apple.
Oh no. Poisoned apple.
Which way will the apple go in his mouth or the other side?
Confessions.
You're right.
Here we go! Which way to go? Good choice.
Oh, hell, you read me?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm tired. Oh, mamma mia.
Please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you.
Hey everybody! Welcome back to a Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts and opinions on everything nerdy, geeky, techie, whatever. It's been a week since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that you can follow us on various social media platforms, find previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm Sohail, the moderator for this episode, and I'm joined by Ellie,
Hello.
William,
Hi.
and the infamous Tommy.
Good evening.
In this
So
episode, we'll be
dumb.
talking about the 5 most recent nerd news topics important to us, the Netflix Death Note movie from 2017, and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Stick around until the end of the episode to hear some of our listeners' confessions. If you want to send us a confession, you can email us at contact@nerdconfession or just send us a tweet. So for starters, let's talk what each of us did last week. Tommy, what did you do this week?
I only did 3 things. I watched Hero Academia, I watched Dragon Ball Super, and I played Ark. That's it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's the same stuff.
Yep. I'm a very inconsistently consistent person.
That's cool, though. Hero Academy keeps on coming out with new stuff. That's good.
Well, I think the season's coming to an end soon.
But the Dragon Ball Super is still going? Is the season same season?
It's the
different
longest 30 minutes of like life.
That's
It's like
what I mean.
it's a tournament and it's like 30 minutes. It's literally been 10 episodes.
Literally, that's the biggest complaint I have about Dragon Ball Z. It's just like
It's
the
because everything's
same
supposed
stuff.
to be really fast, but they want you to see it. They're like so powerful. Everything is like super quick.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're like watching it and you're like,
I know
this guy
the
just-
time frame don't make sense.
can you just like fight faster? You know, one
Fight
episode should be done.
You gotta build up to it.
No, I'm
It's
okay
like
with
Game
the
of
fight.
Thrones.
Yeah, I get it, but like the five episode fight is just way too much. Just have more fights. That's all I have to say.
Sounds good.
All right, Will, what you been up to?
Me? Well, I watched the majority of the Death Note anime.
You did?
Yeah, I got through most of the episodes.
When?
It's like 22 episodes
How?
this morning.
This morning, god damn.
Did you like it? Is that why you continue watching?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh.
I'm up to season 6 of Game of Thrones.
Dun, 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 dun,
Finally,
dun,
season
dun,
6 is
dun,
good.
dun.
I've not, well, actually started watching the episodes, but that's the episode, the season that I'm going to start watching. I finished the story of Mass Effect Andromeda, so that's done and over with.
Congratulations.
I'm not quite done with what I want to do in the game, but at least the story is done.
You're a winner.
Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I started playing that. It does not suck, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And that's all I did.
That's
All
not
right.
much.
Sweet.
Well, Ellie, what have you been up to?
I did a lot.
All right, looks like you did.
Yeah, look, I wrote things for once. I played Breath of the Wild as always.
Oh, nice.
I'm still trying to collect seeds. And
Did you get your own house yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. I'm still discovering things. I
Still?
discovered that
Jesus.
that goddess statue where you could swap your hearts and your stamina.
You just barely found that? Did you
I
find your
just-
house in the same town?
No, I'm still
Oh.
exploring.
Oh, nice. Very close, very close.
Okay, I'm getting there. Anyways, and then I also
Cross the bridge in the town.
I also watched Death Note the movie and
Nice.
the anime, just that first episode, which I think was enough for me to compare. I've been watching Daredevil.
Good.
Yeah, I actually like it.
I told you it was going to be
It's
It's
good.
super good.
Yeah, it's much
It's
better.
way better than Defenders.
By the way, talking about Daredevil, the guy that plays the Iron Fist is in Game of Thrones.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Why?
the brother of the girl that marries Tommen. The House Tyrell.
Kazini?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
I never fucking thought of that.
I noticed it when I was watching
That's
it.
weird.
I was like, dude, that guy's the Iron Fist guy.
Holy
But
shit.
he's gay in this.
And he gets, yeah.
I don't know what happens to him, so don't kill it for me. But I know that he's in the show. Season 5, he's in it. Season 4.
Interesting.
He's, I forget his name, but he's
He didn't
the
look
male
the same to me.
Tyrell. He just hasn't had facial
I didn't even
hair.
notice it. Wow.
He doesn't have facial hair.
Oh.
And his
think-
accent's really shitty. So
I think that's
fine.
probably why I didn't notice him.
But anyway, you go back and watch season 5, you'll see him in there. He's
Probably will.
playing around with a guy in a bed in episode 2. It was really weird.
One of the gay guys I know.
Anyways, yeah, I did that. So
I know who you're talking about. I need to look at him again.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Ellie.
Sorry, Ellie. I just want to bring that up.
No, it's fine. It's just
What else have you done, Ellie?
I went to La La Land.
What?
La La Land?
Yeah, it's LA.
Oh,
Oh, that's what we call it
I
now?
thought like that's when you sleep. Like you're in La La Land.
No, it's because it's
I thought you drank some codeine juice.
no. I went to Los Angeles and I saw some really cool stuff. I went and looked at Angel's Flight since it's reopened now.
Yeah, it's finally open again.
It's pretty cool.
I was hoping the cable would snap.
New paint job.
Okay.
why would you hope that?
You hoped what?
Nothing.
Yeah, I wished for death upon people.
I was
No,
just joking.
kidding. Yeah, I was-
People, I rode that Angels. Can I say that ride I rode when I was a kid? There was not that many people riding it, but now it's popular because it broke down.
Because it broke down.
Yeah, it broke down and became popular again. It's like I gotta ride that because it broke down. It's gonna break down again.
Right? It's like
Stupid.
everyone.
The
just,
thing's
like,
not even worth
worried
riding.
out.
Get out of here.
Somebody's,
Yeah, we
what are you
didn't
talking
ride
about?
it.
Somebody
It was
died on
not-
that not too long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, they deserved it.
That was a
'Cause
big
it's old.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Just
anyways, it's reopened, looks good. I mean, I didn't have the need to ride it. It was faster to go down the stairs than it was to ride it. I went to Clifton's cafeteria for the first time. Hot as hell in there.
Well, just the
The
cafeteria area. The rest of it was
yeah,
cool.
I guess.
It's
And
an old
then
building, right?
1932 is when it was
What
built.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the cathedral where I was able to bless cow skin
With holy water.
with holy water.
Because you feel guilty about your purse, which is made of cow
Well, I don't think
leather.
I'm not 100% sure because I bought this purse.
What
This-
cathedral did you go to?
This very cute
The one that you
purse.
think is ugly.
You sure you went to LA?
Which one is ugly?
Yeah.
The one off the 5.
The Lady of Angels Cathedral, whatever it's called.
Oh, the one that looks like made out of wood.
yes.
Yeah, it's a really ugly one that went by the freeway. And it's uglier when you get closer.
Yeah, I don't know why they made it look like it was made out of wood.
It looks nice
Like,
inside, though.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
nice
inside
and
it's nice.
refreshing. We went to where the dead people live in the bottom in the attic or basement.
Are you finding religion or something?
No,
We just were there to hang out.
I have a religion. I have a religion. It's
There's
LA
this
religion.
black security guard who's pretty cool. He came up to me and was like, "Hey, yo, look at this painting," and then look at the guy in the middle, and then walk back and forth. I was like, "Sure."
Why do you got to point out that he's black? Why can't
he
you
looking
say
at
he's
you?
a security guard?
Yeah,
'Cause he
why
was
did you
cool.
have to
Was he
point out
looking
that
at
he
you?
was?
Was he staring, following you?
Yeah, there was a guy in the middle of the painting, and if you went to the left or right, he'd still look at you.
Is that called like
No,
forced
it-
perspective or something?
Yeah, it's like the Mona Lisa when
Yeah,
they're
it's very
like painted
popular
a
with
certain
paintings
way.
back then,
It's
but it
like
was
it's
cool.
all blacked out, where you could just it feels. Anyway, that painting was really cool. It was really old. It's from the 1800s, 1882, I think it said. But it was cool. There's a lot of old stuff in there. Things that museums let them borrow, so they have it on display in this cathedral.
Nice.
And then the dead people in the bottom. That was my favorite part. And I got to bless the cow skin, like I said. Because I bought this really cute purse. Tommy, you're right next to it, and I didn't think it was leather, but now I'm thinking it's leather, and I don't purchase leather. And then I also bought this really good.
That's made out of cow?
I'm pretty sure it is, but
Dude,
not
I
sure.
eat that stuff. That means I can eat
So
your
I felt
purse?
bad. So I blessed a cow, and I feel so much better.
You
I felt
blessed
like
the cow?
I felt like it went moo, and it went up to heaven.
So what did you do? Bless it. You there was like a skin there, and you took some water and touched it.
I did like two Mother Mary prayers or whatever.
So you bless a cow's
There's
ripped off
holy
skin.
water in the
Ave
back
Maria,
of
that's
the
a-
cathedral.
Did you light up a candle?
No, I didn't. They charged for those.
I saw somebody go crazy up in that water. They went over there and started touching himself with the water. I was like, "What the hell?"
Well, some people have to go to heaven higher than others. Some people do some bad stuff.
Yeah. But anyways, lots of spaces to put your dead body in the basement.
Oh, nice.
Lots of spaces. And I ate cheese, and that's all I did.
What kind of cheese?
Just mozzarella.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. So you blessed a cow, you ate its products,
Yeah. So
and then you.
When did
gotta-
you eat cheese?
That's kind of an interesting fact. that you ate cheese.
When
Do
did
we
that come from?
did we have? It was sometime during the week. I don't know. I ate
Well, that's a good
cheese.
time.
Why? Okay.
So you're all about the cow this week. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
bless the cow.
I don't know why that's so
skin, ate some
noteworthy.
cheese.
Okay.
And you ate a pizza, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
had
ate
margarita
pizza.
pizza.
Delicious
Big
margarita
chunks of
pizza.
mozzarella on it.
Oh, and I had a souffle, a chocolate souffle.
Nice.
That was good.
Sounds good. Awesome week for Ellie. And what did I do?
What'd you do?
Well, I watched Death Note on Netflix. Actually, that was 2 weeks ago when it first came out.
Word.
I watched Westworld, first 2 episodes.
Word.
Only 2
Game of Thrones up to season 5,
Word.
episode 2. That's where I'm at.
Stop saying word.
Company of Heroes. I keep playing that.
Sentence.
Oh, I need to
But
play
that's
with
number
you.
2. Oh, you can play with me. It would be really fun. I just need to unlock a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff
cute.
locked. Kerbal Space Program. I'm doing all this crazy crap on it. I don't know what I'm doing. This like weird drilling drone that I made, but I'm gonna try to make it land on a very far planet and see if I can drill some ore or something. And I played a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes of Mario Rabbids.
Mario Rabbids.
I did a lot more than this, but we are also joined by a Lannister today. His name is Luigi Lannister. He's sitting right here.
What?
But-
Luigi Lannister?
It's because he's a Lannister.
It's a
Because he's a
Lannister.
lion.
But he,
And he always pays
The
his
Lannister
debts.
lion.
he pays his
Dun,
debts,
dun,
but
dun,
he
dun,
also
dun.
is quiet. He's very quiet, doesn't talk. So deal with him, guys.
He's like Tywin.
All right, so let's go to 5 recent news topics of the week.
That lion's pretty ass.
Well, Apple leaks show that it decides to repair and how it decides to repair and replace iPhones. So Apple leaks a warranty guide for Apple phones showing how the company determines which iPhones are eligible for repair under warranty. Conditions outlined in warranty, repair, out of warranty, repair, and devices or categorized as illegible due to damage or unauthorized modification. The 22-page guide is dated March 3rd, 2017, and is leaked recently to Dropbox. Reports Business Insider call the Visual Mechanical Inspection Guide, VMI, the document that covers iPhone 6, 6 Plus, 6S, and 7 Plus, and 7. Types of damage Apple covers under its warranty service includes certain things. So debris under the glass display or pixels, that's eligible. FaceTime camera foam misalignment, that's eligible. Single hairline crack in the front glass without like pointed impact, so like a very thin crack along the front.
Like a temperature crack.
Yep. Eligible for out of warranty service would be single hairline crack, a point on the edge of the screen, so like right where the metal meets the glass.
Okay, you drop
Liquid
it.
damage confirmed by user on
Not
the
necessarily. That's why
Okay, you
it's
drop it in the toilet.
It just starts on the edge and it goes there. If you liquid damage on the phone,
Drop it in the
if
toilet.
if the customer says it is, clear evidence of corrosion and internal LCI and triggered something with corrosion in the
Leave
inside.
it outside in the winter.
Any LCD flat fractures, so inside the screen, if there's like a black mark, it kind of looks like you have a black hole in your screen.
Angry girlfriend.
Damage due to laser contact with camera. I guess someone shooting lasers in the camera to damage it.
That's funny.
There's so much negative feedback about the bent enclosure and the split enclosure.
Yeah.
I know somebody that went through 3 of those phones
Wow.
just because I don't know how they bent it in their pocket, but it would always been in their
How
pocket.
big is this person?
Larger than me, but not meant.
I'm just saying, either they're way too tight of pants, their pants are too tight, or they're just a really big guy or girl. Just saying.
Guy.
Any chips or multiple
Or in
cracks in
between.
the glass. That means if they have many chips. Bent enclosure means the whole metal is bent. Damaged audio lightning connector, like somebody jammed like a pen inside of it, or
Like Ellie.
jammed something weird inside of it and didn't work. Extreme abrasion on the screen. Split enclosure, like the enclosure's coming off the front. Speaker microphone grill damage. So, like if you push through it. Eligible service, anything that's ineligible for service is mismatch between configuration code and size, color, and model. So if it doesn't match what you say it is, and if it doesn't match with the model number and the code.
Non-Apple batteries, you can actually put a third-party battery in there.
I guess somebody
That's
did.
Crazy.
Intentional tampering or damage. So if you threw the phone or you intentionally opened it to fix it and you damaged it. Disassembled units or missing parts. So if you
Or
took it apart.
or catastrophic damage. And I was laughing because there's a picture of a phone where it's like nearly unrecognizable. It was like burnt crisp.
It looks like somebody ran it over with a freaking steamroller.
Yeah.
Well, that's bad times. So those are the things that released. So people are not so happy with why it's eligible for out of warranty means you have to pay. Ineligible means they're not going to fix it at all. Another one is warranty recovery.
Well, some of that stuff, like the screen edge part, I mean, I've been to my iPhone 5S started doing that. I mean, I did drop it, but it was not even where I dropped it.
You mean the LCD fractures?
Well, this is like the
Stop.
corner.
Sorry. I was trying to look at the top.
What are you trying to see?
Just everything. I
Go
wanna
down?
know.
Oh. What are you trying to look for?
Keep going.
I was in the green.
She's trying to see what she can get away with.
Keep going.
Yeah, I was.
What to do if external visible LCD? I don't know. So they don't really, they outline it saying that some things are not, you have to pay a full price, some things you don't. So if you bend the phone case, you have to pay for it yourself. It's not going to be covered under warranty. The only like 3 things are covered are like really basic stuff, like a small crack.
To our understanding.
And
Stop
the
making
phone.
it thin and make it more thick. I don't understand why that was.
So yeah, we like some thick.
All right. So that's for that story.
THICC.
Word.
DICE.
Microsoft and Amazon partner to integrate Alexa and Cortana digital assistants.
That's
It's gonna
pretty
be
cool.
So sweet.
Amazon and Microsoft are partnering to better integrate their Alexa and Cortana digital assistants. Alexa users will be able to access Cortana, vice versa, on a range of devices, although integration will be a little awkward initially. So basically, you'll be able to play with Cortana on your Alexa, and you'll be able to play with Alexa on your Microsoft device.
Do you think like they'll start arguing?
No, that kind of integration is what might make me stop using Apple as my main operating system and move to Microsoft, because then I could just talk to my Alexa and say, open this website or search this on my computer.
That'd be sweet.
And then I just go to my computer and it's there.
That would be awesome.
I think it's cool, but yeah, I think
You could be
Cortana-
like gaming and just yell, Alexa,
I think they
go to
should
this
just
website.
work together and say, you know what, we're just gonna make this digital assistant one.
Yeah, I agree with you. That'd be cool.
It'll be called Alexa,
And they can all
or
own parts of
whatever,
it.
and the Microsoft can put their name on the one
They
side.
could just
and-
call it Jarvis.
and they can own half and half. I think it'll be a great idea. But right now, Microsoft's not so happy because they really want people to still build skills for Cortana, and people also love their Alexa because it gets smart home devices working really well.
Yeah,
We'll
this
see
could
what-
also help Xbox a little bit too,
Right.
potentially.
Cortana, it's a prize move for both companies and comes just as Microsoft's preparing to launch a Cortana speaker with Harman Kardon. So we'll see what happens. And Apple's releasing one, so we'll see what happens. That's the new Microsoft one at the bottom.
I don't think Apple's going to make it. They're just falling too far behind on the Siri stuff. I mean, they're making her sound a little better, and they're making her like more feature rich, but they're behind the game on the Amazon Echo release, like way behind that.
The Amazon
And they're
Echo is
behind-
still better than the Apple one, except for that one feature.
And right now, the most popular operating system in the world is still Windows. Is going to be partnering with Amazon with their Alexa digital service.
True.
I think Apple's done
Well,
with
yeah.
the Siri as far as them being on top.
Yeah, I think Siri is falling behind. It needs to move to make itself integrate with the home products. I think aren't working too well, so we'll see what happens. That's a new Microsoft one. That's what they're trying to build for their smart home.
It's done by Harman/Kardon. That's
Yeah.
a good company.
Yeah, that's a good speaker company. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we got box office. The Hitman Bodyguard leads the worst Labor Day sales in the movies since 1990. So box office, basically in 20 years, the Bodyguard only opened up with $13.4 million on its 3-day weekend, which is pretty sad. The reason for this downturn, there were no new major releases on the holiday marquee. Only thing that was on there was really this movie. Nobody really shot a big movie for this weekend. Revenue for the 4-day holiday weekend will land between $93 million and $96 million, down as much as 26% from 2016, marking the worst Labor Day frame since 1998. or 1996.
I think it's just that people don't have, or people have a lot of debt nowadays, and they're kind of saving up.
You could be right, but
And they got all these services, that are recurring every month. You got like Netflix and this and that, and people, is it really worth going and paying $18 for a freaking movie?
I don't know if it's that only. I think it's just because there wasn't anything really attractive this weekend. Usually on a 4-day weekend, you're going to get something big. So you're going to get something like you were hoping for. Maybe I'm going to just throw that out. You're saying maybe I'll get Spider-Man. But you also got a release of last weekend on Tuesday or Wednesday. You got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up having people buying that movie and say, I'm going to watch that at home this weekend. So it's really not a good thing, but it also shows that original stuff really isn't going.
I didn't really like. There was nothing appealing about Hitman's Bodyguard to me as far as
I wanted to see it. They did
going
the
out
timing
to watch
sucked.
it in theater. Like I ended up last weekend just seeing Annabelle, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. We watched Annabelle.
Yeah,
Forgot.
I saw Hitman's
that was
Bodyguard out.
last week, so never
I
mind.
saw that it was out, but decided to see Annabelle instead.
Well,
So
No, Annabelle.
that shows you the appeal of that movie also, because maybe people are having a little bit of
I wanted to see this movie,
fatigue, but we'll see
but I
what
kept
happens.
forgetting to check it out.
But it's a downturn. It's 26% down in the movies for this weekend, but that doesn't mean the whole movie market's down. We'll see what happens whenever we get the big name movies like Thor Ragnarok coming out and the other
definitely seeing that
Yeah.
launch day.
and
Thor
you're gonna
Ragnarok.
see
Other good movies.
Warner Brothers wants Leonardo DiCaprio for a Joker movie, and Jared Leto isn't happy about it.
Why are you talking like you're
What
broken?
do you
Taking
mean?
my time because Tommy's trying to speed this up.
Jared Leto can go suck a dick because
Oh, damn.
Leonardo,
Well,
God.
Leonardo DiCaprio would be amazing. I'm just thinking about him in the role reminds me of his performance in Django when he was at the table and how crazy he was in that scene, and how it
That
was
would be actually kinda cool.
because that whole scene where he got his hand bloody by breaking it on glass, it was an accident. It was all improvised. Yeah, and the whole everybody that is on crew clapped at the end of it because it was done so well. And I just imagining him as Joker, I can imagine he'd do very well.
Right. I remember he's
that
a
Oscar winner.
he's a really
Discontinued.
his first time Oscar winner. Yeah, but I mean, it's been a while. Everyone was like, "Why hasn't he won an Oscar yet? Why hasn't he won an Oscar yet?"
Yeah.
But people made jokes about him when he got his name engraved on it.
I was
Yeah.
never, I was
That was
never a
wrong.
fan of him until Django.
Oh,
Django wasn't really made me a fan of him.
I liked him in a lot of movies that he did with Martin Scorsese. When like Departed and all that stuff. I really liked that movie.
It took a Mexican director to get him. I'm just kidding. I'm not going there.
Martin Scorsese is really, I think he uses Leonardo DiCaprio in everything. So like anything
Oh.
he does, it's like, oh, I got to use Leonardo DiCaprio. It's
Yeah,
like
maybe that's
yeah.
what was holding him back.
Well-
If this was going to be a Joker origin movie with Jared Leto, I would have been like not happy at all. But the fact that it's Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm interested.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm excited about it yet, but I'm interested.
I'm not excited about. Only reason I'm not excited about Jared Leto's character is Jared Leto's character is kind of like off the walls, weird Joker. He's kind of like a pimp version of the Joker.
I just didn't like it.
I don't like him at all.
He was trying. It felt like he was trying too hard to be out. Just to stand out. Whereas like Heath Ledger's felt more real, like a guy who just kind of lost it.
Right.
This was just like over the top. Way too much.
We all know he's going to be in the next movie for the Suicide Squad. It was already announced. He was there.
He's in the next Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he
There's
was
a
there
sequel to that.
It's coming.
What the
At
fuck?
some sort of event. I don't remember what the event was, but they're on stage. He was on stage with Harley Quinn.
Sure, it's not gonna be Justice League or a Harley Quinn movie.
No, he's going to be in the next.
There's another Suicide Squad movie coming
Squad,
out.
and I think
And there is like promising he's going to be bigger focus with the second movie, and that's why he was on stage with Harley Quinn. But
after you bitched
I
at
think
him.
the fact that he's not going to be in this Origins movie kind of goes to say maybe they're expecting that he won't be very well liked in that movie.
This
either.
actually might be really cool if they do the straight up origins of the Joker,
they could make two separate.
like a gangster style get to the Joker.
The startup with two different Jokers could be really painful because you're going to see the story is going to be mismatched.
And there's gonna be a
So
lot of
which world
comparison.
is real? Which Batman is real? Because Batman was in Suicide Squad, wasn't he? Yeah, he was
briefly.
in it, and he was in it for a few minutes, and it was the same Batman. So you can't really have two different Jokers unless you're gonna
Wait,
play
was
off
he?
Jared. Yeah,
When?
remember he was like
He was
chasing
in it. He's the one that arrested
Harley
Deadeye,
Quinn? and Deadeye, and
and he saved Harley Quinn from the
the-
ocean.
yeah, he chased.
You really forgot that?
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was chasing
Wow.
Harley Quinn's little thing, and he was
Completely
saving her.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean he's in it, so I don't know if they can do it, but we'll see what happens.
Well, they're using pictures of Killing Joke like everywhere for this origin movie thing, which I don't know if it'll be based off the Killing Joke story. Has there really been any word on that? Not that I've
I
heard.
don't know,
I don't
but
even
if
know
they
if it'll
probably
be
just
based off
using
Killing
it-
Joke.
Maybe they're using it because they want to say that would be like the storyline.
If it's
they would
based,
follow.
if it's based off Killing Joke and has the same story of Killing Joke, I'd be pretty happy with the movie.
Killing Joke is pretty good. From
Yeah,
what I
Killing
remember.
Joke's story is really good. As
Well,
long as they don't butcher it with like a whole like love scene between Batgirl and Batman, like they do with the the cartoon.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do, but I think that he would be a great Joker. But just be wary; his mental health might go down. So just be careful, everyone out there. So you need to make sure you keep
DiCaprio?
him on. Yeah, everyone that plays
You might
Joker
think
always
about-
gets depressed. Even
Nicholson,
Nicholson had a problem.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, he said in an interview
How
he
so?
said it was like hardest thing that he's played. One of his hardest things
Oh wow.
after Shining. Shining was the top one, but the other one he said
The Shining.
Which one was the hardest?
The Shining.
Batman.
Oh.
Batman as him playing the Joker was pretty depressing. He said.
Oh, I
Because he
can
had to be
imagine.
like a really evil person in his mindset, and he was like method acting or something.
Oh,
So
I can do it. No problem.
I
Give me
got
the
it to
role.
Leto, I guess, and he's all.
I don't know if you could be the Joker, but you could be the Tubbs.
There's somebody on the internet that calls himself Joker.
What?
Builds computers. He reminds me of you, Tommy. Move on.
Uh-oh. Moving on. All right, artificial intelligence is writing the next Game of Thrones book. How is this possible?
What?
A software engineer fed machine all 5,376 pages from the 5 current books and is generating predictions of what will happen next. This is from the New York Post, everybody, so I'm not 100% sure if this is real or not, but we'll see what's going on. I think it's real. But they said they fed a machine with all the previous books, Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, a Storm of Swords, a Feast of Crows, and I forgot the last book, A Dance with something. Go down.
Fire and Ice.
Dance, Fire and Ice. Dancing with Dragons and the Winds of Winter and all that stuff. So they say that they're going to put it all together. This computer's going to put it all together and then basically come out with the next storyline. So it's going to write a whole book based off what it thinks it's going to happen.
Isn't it crazy that he's been writing this series since 1996?
Well, how do they put the
It
input
is.
like that? This is weird to me. How you feed this to a computer? But okay.
Well, I don't know how it's going to work, but the final 6-episode season of Game of Thrones won't air until spring of 2019.
Of gods.
No, it's 18. They're already filming in October.
Are you sure it's 18?
Yes.
Okay, it says on the bottom there.
I know,
2019.
they fucked up. It's 18.
Can you
Okay,
confirm
They're
That's
it?
already
good.
doing it.
Can you confirm it? Because if
I
they
can.
confirm it real quick.
Lauren,
I don't think so. I have
Lauren
a friend who's a big fan
Twiznat.
too, and she said you have 2 years to catch up, Ellie, and it's 2 years.
I heard it's 2019 from everybody.
Yeah. This
So-
fool.
Because they're waiting for George R.R. Martin to work on it.
season 8, right?
Yeah.
Which one should I go with? Digital Spy. They're paying for a lot of
and enemy.
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 Enemy.com. What do you have to say? Stop loading.
Yeah,
In late
20
2018 or early 2019 is what they say.
But they said recently reported 2019 is more likely.
Yeah, they're filming now.
Yeah, but it takes a while to do all that stuff.
Yeah, and if there's a lot of CG, there's gonna be a ton of CG in
There's
that.
going to be a shitload.
From where
That's gonna take a
I
while.
started episode 5, and I was where the king was in season 5. The King of Dorne. I was in that
sorry,
place in
yeah.
Spain.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was in the
That's cool.
Alcazar. I was like, wait, that's the Alcazar. I was there.
They film a lot of this in Iceland too, right?
Yeah, but they filmed the Dorne scenes in Spain, which is really interesting because they're supposed to be Spanish,
Oh,
the Dornish people.
that's cool.
So it's interesting. But that's cool
And
if a
New
book tries to
Zealand,
come out
right?
with it.
No, that's Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Wow.
It's close. It's
Same
close.
thing.
It could be in the same universe.
Moving on.
They could today.
All right, Death Note, our first topic of the week. In 2007, a Malaysian newspaper and The Star stated that more than 10 film companies
10
in the
film
United-
companies.
in the U.S. had expressed interest in the Death Note franchise. So Death Note is actually the movie that came out on Netflix in 2017, and we're going over a little bit of development.
You really want to recognize it as the film that came originally was an anime, right?
Yeah, originally came out as an anime from Japan. I believe it came out a little while ago, a long time ago, actually. What, 2006, 7?
Just so everybody knows, Cherie is joining us for this one, who hasn't been with us for a while, but over the phone. So, Cherie, when did Death Note come out? The anime.
I'm going to say early 2000s.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, it came out on NTV, which is a Japanese channel, in 2006. So
You are correct.
2006.
And I think it was on, what is it? Cartoon Network? No, not Cartoon Network.
It's also on Netflix.
Adult Swim?
Yeah, it was on Adult Swim for a while.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so then it was on Adult Swim in 2007, so a year after it came out. But let's get back into this movie, because this movie's the best part.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. The American production company Vertigo Entertainment was originally set to develop and remake with Charlie and Vilas, I don't know how to say the last name, as screenwriters, and Roy Lee, Doug Davidson, Dan Lin, and Brian Witten as producers. In April 30th, 2009, Variety reported that Warner Brothers, the distributor for the original Japanese live-action films, had acquired the rights to the American remake with original screenwriters and producers still attached. So the people that were writing it originally actually joined them on Warner Brothers and stayed with it. In 2009, Zac Efron, oh my God, responded to rumors that he would be playing the film's lead role by stating that his project was not on the front burner. So it's kind of like a back burner project.
Yeah.
Zac Efron is light, whatever. That would be kind of weird.
What's up?
Yeah.
He's not
For
really.
people who don't know who Zac Efron.
Zac Efron is the guy from High School Musical, and at the same time, the latest movie he's done was, I think, something to do with the ocean and the
Baywatch.
beach. Baywatch.
So
He was.
weird.
I heard he was a smart character in that movie.
Baywatch?
He's literally box office poison.
Zac Efron.
Damn.
I mean, he seems like it. But in 2013 and 2011, it was announced that Shane Black would be hired to direct the film. So in 2011, that's like what, 6 years ago? That's not good. That's not good. Staying script be written by Anthony Baragozzi and Charles Mondry. Warner Studios plan to change the background story of Light Yagami into one of vengeance instead of one of justice. Stupid move.
Very stupid.
It doesn't make sense. Why would you get rid of his family unit also? That made no sense to me, but we're going to go into that later. And basically remove Shinigami from... Okay, one of vengeance and justice, and remove Shinigami from the story. Black opposed this change, and it had not been greenlit. Black confirmed in 2013 interview that with Bleeding Cool that he was still working on the film. In July 2014, it was rumored that Gus Van Sant would replace Black as the film's new director, with Dan Lin, Doug Davidson, Roy Lee, and Brian Witten producing the film through Vertigo Entertainment, Witten Pictures, and Lin Pictures. They just make their own little companies on the side over there, or what?
Apparently. So we know so far that it's had a long and messed up production cycle.
Sounds like Dark Tower.
Pretty much. It was announced in 2011, something like major change in like main actor, right? And even since 2009, they were trying to plan what to do. So that's a long time period from 2017 when it's finally coming out. So it just kind of goes to show how much of a mess it was.
Right. And I felt that whenever you have like a cloudy production, back production, you lead to a cloudy movie. It just feels like it's not...
Like no one loved it.
Yeah, like nobody loved it, but it also didn't make very much... They made too many changes to the movie story that you could end up causing damage to the original piece, and it really hurt the movie because people that are fans of Death Note disliked it. Traditionally, they like what it was cool about, hated this, which led to people watching this not to like it also. So It was actually really stupid. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was so dumb.
So what happened on April 27th, 2015?
April 27th.
That's my April birthday.
It's your birthday
That was my birthday.
in 2015.
What happened on your birthday in 2015?
Well, there was a birthday in 2015 on April 27th, and that was my birthday.
What did you do?
Okay.
Oh, that was a good year. Let me tell you.
She licked cream cheese, the whole stick.
Moving on.
With that note,
Do anybody,
regarding
does
the death
anybody
note, what
ask
happened?
why he does drugs or does he not do drugs? We understand.
We got that
Tommy
question
doesn't do
once.
drugs.
Regarding Death Note, what happened?
The Hollywood Reporter revealed that Adam Wingard would direct the film, and that Lin Lee and Jason Hoff and Masai Oka would produce, and Inja Kuya Kendall, sorry, I don't know how to say the name, and Nick, oh my God, Mavin Karuv would oversee the studio.
There's so many long, complicated names.
Yeah, I don't know
in
what's
production.
Producers that stated the film would receive an R rating in April 2016. The Wrap reported it was because Warner Brothers had decided to make fewer films. The studio would put the film into turnaround, but allowed Wingard to take the project elsewhere. So it doesn't matter. This movie was going through, and they said, we're not going to put this in the films. In April 2016, it was confirmed that Netflix had bought the film from Warner Brothers with a budget of $40 to $50 million, and recently drafted the script being written by Jeremy Slater. Production officially began in British Columbia in 2016 in June, and overseen by DN Canada Productions Incorporated.
So much crap.
So basically, the movie
Okay.
went into production last year.
Okay.
So, like, this is where it's kind of like where you should understand how it got messed up, because with Adam Wingard, he did like You're Next and The Guest, which are like so great. So like you have high expectations. But freaking Jeremy Slater did like Fantastic Four. Like what did you do with that mashup? Like that's
true.
horrible. Like you can't have like a good project come out of like that mix.
So you got one guy that's really good, and then you got another guy that's really bad, and causes
so
convoluted
it's kinda
stories.
like, yeah.
Which Fantastic Four did they make? Fantastic Four, the one that recently came out, the one before that?
The Silver Surfer. I don't know.
The 2015 one.
Oh God, the bad
Yeah, I
one.
mean they're both horrible.
The really, really
The
bad
original,
one.
at least the original ones, like when it first came out,
Was
those had some
fun, at
charm
least,
to them.
yeah.
I mean, at
It was
least,
like it was bad, but it had charm.
you
The
get
latest
like,
one didn't
you
have
get at least
anything.
1 point for having Jessica Alba
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's it.
What? No, I don't care.
because she does this. Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry if you don't see. I'm putting my hands up towards the screen. All right. So the cast overview, who basically first billed people only, Nat Wolff, which I don't know anything. He's anything in other than this. Is Light Turner.
I shouldn't say anything about noses, but he has like the most bulbous nose
Stop.
for like a big main
It's
actor.
better
that I
to
know.
breathe. He needs it to breathe. Lakey Stanfield played Elle. Margaret Qualley
That
played-
casting was a mistake in my opinion, though. That guy
you-
is L.
Oh, I can't even say his name.
It starts with an L.
Lakeith
Sure,
Stanfield.
you've seen this guy, right? You've seen L from the trailer, or no?
Hold on, what?
L in this movie compared to L from the anime. Have you seen L?
Lakeith.
Like physically, like how he matches?
Yeah. Well, not just physically. Just
Well,
you see a little bit of
obviously,
him.
Like, yeah, obviously the one guy is white and the other isn't.
Well, also besides that, the personality. He's just
Well-
like he's only like weird. And in this movie, the
In
only
this
things
movie-
he's got going for him is he stays up and hardly sleeps, and he eats lots of
Alright,
candy.
yeah.
That's all he's got going
Okay,
for him in
so-
this movie.
But the best
In the anime though, he had like a weird look in his eye, like you'd sit really weird, and he like had a really like that kind of personality is like almost autistic, like Sohail said before. Well, this guy's not autistic at all.
Well, in this movie,
Yeah.
he had that feel to him, like he was weird. He got the sit right. He did the right sit, like he did in the cartoons.
Yeah, but
only-
did he have shoes on, or was he barefoot?
He was barefoot.
There was
sometimes.
so many takes in the anime where he'd be like rubbing his feet together.
Right.
That's so gross.
Also, in this movie, they made
Oh
Ellen.
wait, oh you're talking. Oh, okay.
Yeah, L.
I was getting a little confused. I thought you were talking about somebody else.
They also made Elle into a crybaby in this movie. He cries every 5 minutes. Like every time something bad happens, it's like crying.
That's really disappointing.
Now,
Like,
I'd be okay if it was the same actor, but he really needed to have that like autistic look where he looks through somebody.
Autistic look.
Yeah. Well,
He meant to say artistic. Artistic.
well,
Artistic.
high functioning autism, because that's what the
Well,
guy
I can
was.
tell you,
Like a savant.
like right off the bat, like from the trailers, it's like, you know, your main character, the way he's depicted is like, you know, kind of like an outcast, and you know, he kind of like he does his own thing or whatever. He's like a little emo-ish looking, but when you like look at Light, like in the manga and in the anime, he's like, I mean, he's a great student. Like he does really well, you know, like he just kind of keeps to himself. But it's like, I feel that kind of makes him less suspicious, you know, because they're always going to go for the shade person,
Right.
Mhm.
like
Right.
first.
But in this,
Yeah, so,
sorry, go ahead.
what was that?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say in this they did something really funny in the beginning of this movie, where they had Light like watching everyone playing football, and it looked like a scene out of like a high school movie where
Yeah.
everyone's doing sports, and it was like in slow motion.
And it was playing this really weird music.
It was basically they
That's
could
awkward.
have
It was like gothic music.
they could have just played Pink Floyd.
That's kind of bullshit, because it's not like a high school show, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't ever really about him and like the popular kids. It was more like him versus bullies, like just bullies in general.
Right.
Right.
Even in the
Like,
anime, he graduates high school and goes to college. So it's not a high school.
Right. It
anime.
wasn't about that, but the thing that I was going to in that is he's watching them finishing doing their practice and all that stuff, and he looks like an outcast when you look at him, but he's doing homework. So it's like he's doing homework, and they just zoom into the homework, and it's like, ooh, Light's smart because he's doing his homework. Like,
But you don't
okay.
see it anywhere else in the movie.
Right.
Like, even, I remember when we watched it, William, you're like, he doesn't seem smart at all.
No,
Like,
it
he
was
was
like
so
Sohail
dumb.
mentioned before, he's fake smart.
Yeah.
Well, the character from the anime seems like, okay, he's generally doing really... He's not smart in just like, oh, he's doing really well in tests. He's smart in, oh, the actions he's doing right now with the plot are intelligent.
Right. So what happened is they had him doing someone else's homework, and they zoom in on it, and it's like, oh, he's doing logarithms in high school. All right, dude, I get he's smart, but this felt like they took Twilight and said, all right, we're going to make this into a Death Note movie. Weird love interests, Twilight.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurt me too. I was watching this. I was like, why does this feel like Twilight? Like,
Like, okay,
high...
I need to know.
Go ahead.
Okay, I need to know, like, because in the anime, they have him and, like, I wouldn't really call Misa, like, his love interest.
Mia?
Because she's just kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, they changed her name?
Yeah, they changed it to Mia.
Okay.
And she's no longer... since they turned this into a high school movie, she is no longer a model and no longer dressed like a goth or anything like that. She is just an everyday high school girl.
No, she was a cheerleader.
She's a cheerleader, but she's an anti-cheerleader. She'd be like the cheerleader that would smoke while all the other cheerleaders would be like chewing bubblegum and hanging out with each other.
Nervy puking.
She's like, oh, I'm a bad girl version of a cheerleader. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
and this
bullshit.
is what ruined the most for me. The best points of Death Note were between Light and L, the competition, two really intelligent guys in different types of intelligence going against each other, and then it was also for me between between
Misa.
Light and Misa,
Misa,
right?
yeah.
Because that was a really interesting relationship, right? Because they both have Shinigamis, and they both have Death Notes.
Right.
So in this movie, they took that all away, and how did they make her interested in Death Note? What happened was Light was said, "You want to know how I did it? You want to know how I killed that guy?"
Yeah, because he's a wiener,
And she was like, "No, I don't want to know."
And he's like, okay, I'll tell you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he goes,
And then they're off, and he goes and shows her, and she's like, "Oh, I love you now, even though I got you detention. I didn't ever liked you."
It doesn't even make any sense because if he loved her, he wouldn't have shown it to her. I mean, in the anime, Misa was kind of like a character that he didn't really like, right? He didn't really physically like her.
Right, but he
Yeah.
wanted to use her.
But he wanted to use her.
Yeah.
Because he was
Yeah.
a genius.
Oh, yeah. Like her love for him was totally like unrequited. Like he did not love her.
So they totally changed the relationship between those two characters in this. Much like they didn't change it as much, but the relationship between Light and Elle changed a lot too.
Yeah.
They never got Light never gets to the point where he's working with Elle to figure things out. That never happens.
Right, but at the
What
same
about
time,
like Light's father?
He's still kind of the same thing. He's still in the police station. He's hacking his father to figure out what's going on with the investigation. But
his parental unit, his mother's gone because they took his mother away and said, you know what, his mother was killed by some gangster, so this is the reason for him to use the death note. I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? Why does he not have a sister anymore? Everything is gone. Like, okay, he's just gonna have a dad because he's a troubled American kid, and his parents he's alone. He's only got a dad. His dad doesn't like him.
Hey, you guys, tell me, does in the anime does Light also would live like with wherever his family, whatever? Do they live by the train tracks too?
They live close to. They don't know where they live.
it seemed like a movie cliche.
Yeah,
It's like
Like, it was so
him and his
bad.
father live
Don't
next to the train
remember
tracks, so
that.
whenever a train goes by, the whole house shakes.
Yeah, that was like
It
a
just seemed
big
like-
focus they made, like a broken house,
like,
and this
what is
house
this, Rocky?
shakes. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the
this,
hell?
This house is weak, and this relationship with his parents are weak. And also, at the same time, one thing Light does that makes me angry when he talks to Elle in this movie, he never says, "I'm not Kira." He just says, "You want to take me away? You can take me away. Let's go."
Yeah,
and it's like
pretty much.
he just in the anime, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not Kira." I don't know what you're talking about. That makes no sense. And then that made Elle even more angry because he kept outwitting Elle. But this was not a game of wits. It just came out to be like, okay, I'm a wiener and you're a wiener, and let's just hang out.
We're all
and find
fake
out what
smart
happens.
people.
Yeah, fake smart, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. So, who is now Mia Sutton played by?
Mia Sutton which is Misa Misa in the cartoons, but they changed her name. Her name is Margaret Qualley. She's also in other shows on Hulu, like The Handmaidens or something. I don't know what she's in.
Oh. And then we mentioned the father. Who is he played by? He's James Turner.
Yes, James Turner, and the best character in the whole movie, which actually did a good job.
Wait, we didn't say it. Shia Wingham.
Oh, Shia Wingham.
Yeah. Best character. Go on. Well,
Best,
that's the best
character
We
in
all
the whole
agree.
movie
Yes, we
is
agree.
William Dafoe.
William Dafoe
as Ryuk, and Ryuk. The only reason it sold it is because
Because it's
the
CG.
voice fits.
kidding.
No, the Ryuk looked good.
No,
Don't get
it
me
did.
wrong. The Ryuk looked good. The problem with what happened with Ryuk is Ryuk was leading Light. He was manipulating Light like a puppet master instead of being what Ryuk was in the anime as his he's just back there.
He's just observer.
Yeah, he's just an observer.
Oh,
In this,
okay.
he's like, you need to kill more people because if you kill more people, that makes me happy. That's not what Ryuk used to do in the anime, so that didn't make any
No,
sense.
so it's like, what is this ambition? He seems like, he's just evil. He's just an evil guy that has this just wants to create chaos or what? It doesn't make any sense. There's no. I really like what they did in the anime because it's based off Japanese culture. Shinigami are like a thing in Japanese culture. They've been there for a long time, and they have this thing about how when I end somebody's life early, I take the rest of their lifespan. And part of the anime was, you want to make a deal or take half your lifespan, and then that's like part of what would benefit him about hanging out with Light and being part of this, right? So that's some of the evilness that's going on in the anime, but he's technically not an evil character. He's just a Shinigami, which is godlike.
Yeah, he's just
demon
he's just
in
a
Japanese culture.
He's basically a guy that he's really just he's just an observer. He's kind of like your devil on your shoulder, but not giving you advice. He would give you advice at times, but in this movie, he was more like a manipulator and a puppet master. He's like, Light, you need to kill more people, or I'm going to need you to give me that book.
Again, it's this easy story. They're trying to make this movie fast paced, and I think they just took a lot of shortcuts. And in doing so, they ruined the story. They ruined the characters. They ruined the balance between like all the. Well, like all the things they took away between Elle and Light, all the things they took away Misa Misa and Light, all those things were needed for the story to be as good as it was in the anime, and they took it all away, so it all sucks
agree.
now.
But at the same time, we have.
Could you?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, could you even successfully make this into a film? I feel if anything, it would have to be a mini series or something because there's just to build that tension between L and Light, like you need more than like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I agree with you because
I think it's possible, but it had to be a very long movie, like an hour, 2 hours.
I think you could do
15 minutes or something.
I think a miniseries would be better
Like a
because
Titanic.
But I agree.
Titanic.
but I agree. A miniseries would be better, like a Netflix 4-5 episode thing or something.
even though they try to make this movie fast paced, I couldn't watch it in one sitting. I had to stop it and come back to it because I got bored. And the reason I got bored is because the guy that plays Light sucks.
yeah,
He's hard to watch.
I still can't get that scene where he just starts screaming when he first see.
Ryuk.
Yeah, was it Ryuk?
Yeah.
yeah. That's what frightened him. Ryuk.
That was so dumb.
It was so dumb, Shuri. Like he started screaming like a little girl, then he hid under a table, and then
The scenes with Ryuk, like the way Ryuk looks and the voice, were very good. But he shouldn't be a puppet master. But still, even though he's a puppet master, best part of the movie is Ryuk.
Well, it's
Yeah.
William Dafoe's portrayal of Ryuk, and
I
it
was
worked.
just disappointed because like I watched the first episode of the anime, and I really enjoyed like the part where it goes into what I guess the underworld, like where he lives.
The Shinigami's home.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I enjoyed, but like I don't see that translating at all in like in the live action
What did-
without being really weird.
Yeah. What was really weird is they didn't have him eat whole apples. He was still obsessed with apples, but he
Yeah.
didn't eat whole apples.
Yeah, what's with the apples?
That was that thing in the anime.
Yeah, I know. I saw the first episode where he's like, "Ooh, I haven't had apples."
Well,
Apples are
in the
so good."
anime, it builds up even more. He says that apples, he's addicted to them and he has to eat them. And when he doesn't eat apples, he goes through apple withdrawals. And then there's a part where he gets all contorted, and Light uses it as a leverage to get him to do something.
So he holds an apple and be like, "You can't have it unless."
Yeah, they had his house like. Sorry, go ahead, Shree.
I was gonna say because like the whole apple thing, I feel like is supposed to tie into like Adam and Eve and like the temptation, you know, like all that kind of stuff. So it's like it just adds to the like intellectual aspect of the anime, which it sounds like is lost in the show. I mean, in the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's he just eats apples like if he's like if it was crack or
But
something.
another thing with animes is in every anime in Japanese culture, food in itself
right?
is-
It's a temptation.
is
and,
like a temptation but fun, and they make it like interesting, and there's always like a food product
yeah,
that
like,
someone's in love with.
I automatically thought about Spirited Away, like that movie where it's like tempted by food and you turn into a fucking pig and
Right. But there's like always like something in animes that people like some characters in love with, like a food item, and it becomes like a positive point or a
Yeah.
negative point or whatever it is. But
Or animes where like the food item is the aspect of the anime, like Banana Cat.
yes, this is true.
Yeah.
So the one character we didn't talk about, Watari.
Watari was played by Paul Nakayushi. No, Nushi. I can't say his last name. Sorry.
Nakaushi?
Paul Nakayushi. Watari was played. He played Watari. I thought he was okay. I mean,
okay. Tell me, did he play a huge role in the anime?
Watari?
Yeah.
He was. I don't remember him being a huge role in the anime, but I remember him being.
I remember him coming a few times. I don't
But-
remember him being so obsessed with sleep being important. Do you remember that, Sheree?
No.
No,
And this, his
Okay.
number one line
not
is,
really.
"You need sleep for strong thought." That's all he would say.
I really did not care for his character based off the movie. I
His
didn't
character
care.
was supposed to be like his handler.
And he was in the anime, but I
Yeah,
don't
he was,
remember-
but-
he did not have as big a role as he had in this movie.
In the anime, he was
It
more
seemed
like,
like
a
his-
butler.
Yeah,
Right?
in this movie, it seemed
Yeah,
like his
it
only
did.
purpose was to
Make sure people go
at
to
the-
sleep.
Well, no, make sure you people get sleep, and to at the end be manipulated to get L's real name.
Yeah, because they didn't have an easier way of doing it through writing.
Because they took away the Shinigami whole thing and the Shinigami eyes and being able to see names and stuff. They took all that away.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they had to have an easy way to write in a way that Light will find his name.
Yeah, and then it was pretty stupid, but it's okay. It's what it is what it is. But I'm going to go into Death Note anime fun facts right now.
Should we talk like more of our thoughts about the movie, or should we save that until after the
We can
fun
save it
facts?
until after the fun facts.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's find out the fun facts.
Okay, let's enjoy
All
some
right.
fun facts. Here we go.
Okay, early in 2005, school officials in Shenyang, the capital of Leon Province, People Republic of China, banned Death Note. The immediate cause was that students had been altering notebooks to resemble the Death Note and writing names of acquaintances, enemies, teachers in the books. The ban was designed to protect the physical and mental health of students from horror material that misleads innocent children and distorts their mind and spirit, which is interesting. Jonathan Clements has suggested that the Chinese authorities acted partly against superstition, but they're also against legal pirate publishers of Death Note. The ban has been extended to other Chinese cities, including Beijing, Shanghai, Laozhou, and Guangzhou province. Legally published Chinese language versions of Death Note are published in Hong Kong only.
Because they're rebels over there.
I feel like, Shuri, if I was into this anime back in the day in high school, we would be making a replica Death Note. Putting all our enemies in it. Sorry, I'm done.
Put your enemies and your
I
weird
had
uncle
like
on there.
a fake one.
You have a fake one? Oh.
Like back then, because like I used to read it and watch the anime when I was in high school, and of course, like as an angsty teenager, you're gonna want to like try and create your own.
You got to write your own Death Note so you can put bad people's names in it.
Spoiler alert! It did not work.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
You have to meet at Shinigami.
Yeah.
Mine
Put
worked.
some apples.
Oh,
Next fun fact.
Tommy
I was
wrote that.
like, more fun facts. Right?
In 2007, the Education Bureau in Pingtung County, Taiwan, warned parents to watch out for negative influences from the manga.
That's stupid.
That's interesting. The Albuquerque Public Schools of New Mexico in the United States held a hearing in May 2010 to ban Death Note manga from their district schools. It was unanimously voted down. Means it didn't pass.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. America always likes it when you can read books.
Yeah.
Don't ban
Book reading.
book reading anywhere.
Control what your children read.
You be the
you
parents. You
want.
choose. Don't make the school be your parents. All right. After volumes of Death Note were found in February 2013, suicide of a 15-year-old girl in Russia, a local parenting group began.
Well, you said that because of a complicated name. Should we try it?
Yekaterinburg, Russia. A local parent group began campaigning in April 2013 for President Vladimir Putin to regulate all media based off the series, saying it arouses interest in death. In March 2014, investigators had concluded that the manga couldn't cause the girl to commit suicide. So, yeah, you parents are crazy. All right, there have been various copycat crimes around the world which were based off Death Note. In September 28th, 2007, 2 notes written with Latin characters saying "Watashi wa Kira desu," a mistranslation of "I am Kira," which should have been "Watashi wa Kira desu," were found near partial remains of a Caucasian male in Belgium. The case has been called the manga mord, which is the Dutch for manga murder.
The manga murder.
Manga mord. In Belgian media, it was not until 2010 that 4 people were arrested in connection to the murder.
4 people.
That probably would have made it better movie than this shit, but all right.
Probably.
Moving on. A senior in Franklin Military Academy in Richmond, Virginia, United States, was suspended in 2007.
Again.
Oh my
2007.
God, 2007, after being caught possessing a replica Death Note notebook with the names of fellow students. The school's principal wrote a letter to the student parent linking an unofficial website where visitors write names of and circumstances of a death for people they want to die.
That seems harmless.
Yeah, I don't know why they consider that a copycat, but okay.
It's kind of scary to me, though. If I had somebody in my school that wrote my name, like Sohail Death by
And
Snickers,
how you're going to die?
Death by Snickers in the nose, I would be like, oh my God.
No more Snickers. Get away from
Like,
me.
get them Snickers away from me, number one. Number two, why does this guy want to kill me so oddly?
So every time you see a guy with Snickers, they're going to freak out.
Shove a Snickers in my nose. All right. In South Carolina in 2008, school officials seized a Death Note notebook from a Hartsville Middle School student. District officials linked the notebook to the anime manga. The notebook listed 7 student names. The school planned to disciplinary hearing and contacted even the seven students' parents. In Gadsden, Alabama, in 2008, 2 6th grade boys were arrested for possession of a death note that listed names of several staff members. Oh, you go to jail if you write staff members and fellow students. Yeah.
Apparently,
if you write your fellow students, you just get called. But
you're a staff member. Oh, you're F.
Oh no,
You're F.
You're a bad boy. According to Iwata County Sheriff's Department and Sergeant Lanny Handy, what a weird name.
It's like a middle of nowhere town. You can tell already.
What a weird name. Why would you, who? Yeah, I would change my first name, Sergeant Lanny Handy. Hey, Landy Handy.
Lanny Handy. Handy Lanny.
Why don't you lend me a hand, Landy Handy? All right, moving on. The new notebook was found in the previous afternoon by a staffer. The students were suspended from the county schools. Pending a juvenile court hearing, the students and their parents and the school officials had to meet with Handy and a junior probation officer, which is stupid. It's because they wrote the teachers' names. But anyway, moving on to this. In Gig Harbor, Washington, 1 middle school student was expelled, and 3 were suspended in May 14, 2008 for having 50 names in their own death note, including President George W. Bush.
That's a nice thought.
Besides,
these aren't even like fun facts. It's like Death Note crime dramas.
well, it's like why are they freaking out over people just writing names in a little book? It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anything. The only big deal was the manga murder. All the rest is like, why is this such a? Why are they getting suspended for just writing shit in a little notebook?
If you write the George Bush's name in it, that's a big deal. You can't write a president's name in there because that's like. Really
but do they? It's like they don't know what the anime is, and so they're coming up with this punishment because of it. It's like they don't even know what it's about.
You first of all, you don't suspend the kid because that causes more mental problems. But that's me. Number 2, you should probably take that kid aside and say, "Hey, man, why do you want to kill 50 people?
Why do you want to kill the president of the United States?
Start with yourself."
And then maybe you suggest maybe we should give you a Snickers bar because you're hungry, and we'll be fine. All right. There's another one.
No, it's not.
No, we're not reading it. Okay.
It's just more drama, more crime drama.
It was reported in 2009 that an 8-year-old boy in Sydney, Australia, created a death note. Why? That, along with the names, have contained a battle plan detailing where bombs would be placed inside of a school.
So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's getting intense.
Now that would be a step up into like being expelled or whatever.
Well, that's a big one. And the rest of these were people that had death notes. I think it would be really cool is if someone had a death note and wrote their own name in it. Would they still get suspended? Yeah, they would because it's suicide.
Then they would be worried. I would think it's like, are you trying to commit suicide? Are all these people bothering you?
Yeah, I mean, it would be better to have that conversation instead of taking them to jail.
What?
On the video, Tommy's just gonna look like a dead person.
Oh, I did write his name.
Oh, it's coming true.
We wrote Tommy's name on the death note.
Well, I had a page of a death note, and I wrote Tommy's name on it, and I think he's dying now.
We said death by apple up the rectum.
It could be working towards the rectum now.
Yeah, I think it's working.
But we're gonna burn the page.
And maybe midnight, maybe.
But anyway.
So, final thoughts of the movie? Is that what we're going on to now?
Final thoughts about this movie. My final thoughts. I'm gonna give you each one of you guys 2 minutes to tell me your final thoughts, or a minute, because I just want to get over this.
30 seconds.
Wait. You missed out on like the best fun fact.
What
was that?
Death Note the musical.
Oh
what?
my gosh, what?
There's a Death Note the musical?
In 2015, they had a Death Note musical. I think it was only in like Japan and South Korea.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine like death, like just singing death. Sorry.
I really highly doubt that's all they were doing. I'm sure it's more based off the story.
Watashi wa kira desu. Watashi wa kira desu.
Probably similar to that.
And then it'll go kira, death note. And that was it. Sorry. But that's actually a really fun idea.
It would be great to see Ryuk like dance,
Right.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like he could fly
Do
or
little
something.
twirls and stuff.
This
little
this
spines.
movie needed two things. It needed to not be produced by. It needed not to be like Twilight. Number one. Number two. They needed to make Light smarter, and Light should have been an Asian person.
Elle should have been smarter too,
Yeah.
because he just had a little mask and he went on TV. When they showed Elle on TV in the anime, it was just a letter, and when he wanted to kind of test Light before he knew he just thought he was Kira at the time. He put up a person, but it was just one person, nobody else around him. And in the movie, he did the similar thing, but he did that with like in a public speaking area in front of a podium. So if I were Light, what I would have done is said, "Police officer by the name of this will commit suicide by putting a pencil on the podium and jamming his eyeball into it as a statement, just to do it as a statement to him that it would happen." While in the anime, you couldn't do that because it was impossible. It was just one person there. So the situations they put them in are dumb in this movie.
So 30 seconds?
Okay, so everyone gets 30 seconds to give me your thing. I'll go last, so I'll let Will go first, then Ellie, then me, then Tommy. Tommy third.
And then Cherie.
Then Cherie.
So I'm first?
Yeah, you're first.
30 seconds. Keep the tradition of the Shinigami a part of the movie. It doesn't have to be based in America, even though it's an American remake. Don't be afraid of the source content. Keep the characters intelligent. Don't change the situations in which parts of the movie take place, because it makes something that's smart and puts a lot of loopholes in what that smart situation was. And don't change the characters to the point to just allow you very, very quick storytelling process. That's all I got.
What's your rating, though?
Mine's my rating. My rating is
For the movie? Out of 10.
3 out of 10 apples.
It's not good, but I like it.
Okay, really quick. The movie was stupid. I hated it. Yeah, I would probably watch the anime just to try it, because the first episode of the anime had me intrigued, but I really do not know. I think maybe it was the stupidity of this movie that kept me awake to watch the whole thing, but this movie sucked. It sucked, and I would never watch it again. And that would give me a rating of 1 out of 10 for this movie.
Oh, that's not good. Tommy, do you want to give us your rating? Did you watch it?
I think this was like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Go away.
Ellie, write the name in the notebook again.
I'm kidding. This movie apparently sucked. I haven't seen it. Thank God I didn't see it. I gave it whatever the hell they gave it.
So 2 to average it out.
Yeah, sure, 2.
Thank you for contributing.
You're
All
welcome.
right, so
Sherry first or you?
Sure, you can go if you watched it. I'll go
Oh,
last.
sure you don't watch it.
Sherry?
I did not watch the
No.
movie.
It's okay. Based off what we said, what do you think? Would
It's
you
so
watch
negative,
it?
Well, I feel based off of what was said, what I read about it, and like what I know from what I have seen, I feel like they severely underestimated their audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
their audience's intelligence.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of insulting in a way to just kind of throw out a high school movie, like a Twilight 2.0, and
Pretty
then
much.
expect everybody to be happy about it.
Oh, I would not have been
it's
surprised if Ryuk glittered in the daylight. Just saying.
Right.
Because I do feel like there's always that association too with anime that it's it's just adults watching cartoons, and I feel like this is another one of those things where it misses a lot of the depth that you find in the anime.
Right.
And it falls short. So it sounds disappointing. So I will continue to not watch it. And my rating is not applicable.
I agree with you.
Yay.
My biggest thing, and I don't know if it's me being weird, but I agreed with Sheree before about this being a mini series. It needed to be longer. I think that Light being an American made no sense to me. it would have been cooler if they made this kind of like a really, you know, maybe even like in Japanese originally, and maybe have it written like in Japanese when you read subtitles. I would like that a lot more.
Yeah.
Number three, I think this movie had excessive gore to the point where it was annoying. The gore was like way over the top for no reason. I know there's gore, but I don't need to see that much gore.
I don't
need to see
remember the
bodies.
anime having much gore.
It didn't. I just don't understand why people mainly died from heart attacks.
Right.
I think what they did wrong is in this they probably focused way more on the deaths and forgot the story.
Well, they didn't focus really too much on the deaths. They just had people like dying.
Yeah, they just had like some like old guy sitting there, go like who's never read it. He's like, oh, some notebook, you write names, people die. Final Destination style. Okay, let's
yeah,
get people.
they did the deaths kind of like Final Destination.
And there you go.
But the thing is that made me annoyed is that, you know, Light's not smart at all. Neither is L is smart, but he's just smart because of what he's saying. He's not smart as a character. He didn't feel smart. It would have been cooler if they made like an Asian movie, maybe a kids in high school, you know, going to school. It would have been cool as a miniseries. Ryuk also being a puppet master sucked because it changed Ryuk completely. And number that's my thing. I think this movie gets a 3 out of 10. But
You agree with me?
3 out of 10 because this movie should have never been made. This movie ruins the anime's idea of the anime, and the anime should be probably added to some way. It would have been better if they remade an anime movie instead of doing
like
this
a live action anime. Like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like Final Fantasy, the movie. Remember how they did it like 3D? They
Yeah.
could have did the same thing with this. I just think this was a mistake. Putting it in Seattle was kind of stupid, and why somebody in Japan all of a sudden comes to America because he finds somebody getting killed and stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense. Take this movie and throw it away. Netflix, write it off. It was a bad decision on your part.
Oh yeah, Sri. The way they wrote off him being called Kira is it was a diversion. He was killing people in Japan, and had them write Kira as a diversion. That's how they got away with that, which is really dumb.
Dumb. So we don't
And
even.
how do they explain having like Ryuk in the first place? Because he's like a part of.
He just showed up out of nowhere.
Exactly. Showed up out of nowhere. No explanation to
The
his
book
being.
fell out of the sky.
And
he
it
grabbed
wasn't-
The book, and
it
then
wasn't-
Ryuk was in the background.
It wasn't random that him picking up the book. He chose the person.
Yeah, Ryuk is a
Well,
puppet
no,
master.
I just mean like because Shinigami are like it's like a Japanese thing. So how is this?
They
like,
didn't explain that at
American?
all.
They
It just-
try to Americanize it.
Just some random demon. That's all they.
Yeah.
What they did is they took the story and they said, you know what? This needs a good Twilight movement. Let's get two weird antisocial people to love each other. But wasn't Light really popular in Japan in the Japanese anime? Like for other people really looked up to Light.
Yeah, like
so-
when he was graduating high school, everybody was like, "He's a genius," and he was speaking for all their freshmen because he scored the highest on the test. So
Right. So what the hell is going on with this? I don't know. But anyway, this movie got a bad review from us. I recommend you watch it and probably make a drinking game on it. So every time he writes a name in the death note, you take a shot of, if you're not an adult, you can drink. If you're not over 21, drink milk. If you're
Chocolate
over 21,
milk.
If you're over 21,
make sure it's a glass of milk so you can drink a whole gallon.
oh, that would be a bad idea. I don't want kids throwing up.
Yeah, drink a gallon of that red milk when you bless the cow skin.
And then what you need to do is, if you're an adult, take a shot of the hardest liquor you have. By the end, this movie will be hilarious.
Yeah.
So, or you'll be sleeping. One of the two.
Sleeping.
Either way, it's win-win. So, moving on, we got our second topic of the week. Tommy, hit it with the music.
Oh,
Let's do this.
okay. Well, bye.
Bye.
I'll talk to
Bye.
you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. So, the next topic of the week, we played Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Kingdom Battle.
Development of Rabbids, Mario plus Rabbids. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was developed by Ubisoft Paris and Ubisoft Milan. So basically, Paris and Italy France and Italy coming together and making a game.
Love baby.
Love baby. Using Ubisoft's proprietary Snowdrop game engine, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto, which is famous. for
Yep,
being super
creator
cool,
of Mario.
and Zelda, right?
Yeah, he had work. He worked in Zelda, the first one. Yeah,
Yeah, so he did a lot of
He's rich
cool.
as hell.
I don't know if he's rich as hell, but he's.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I think he's really a cool guy, and he loves video games.
No.
basically was impressed by the prototype of Mario vs. Rabbids crossover game that was presented to him by Ubisoft's Milan creative director, David Solani. In 2014, that's when they used a prototype. The prototype was created in less than a month. Miyamoto felt the concept was easy to understand, and it was refreshing to see Mario placed in a genre of game that he had not anticipated. The development of the game was led under Solani once their third pitch was approved by Nintendo.
So that's kind of cool because, I mean, the only other game we can think of that Mario is in that was
Turn-based,
or, you know, just in general was by Squaresoft. They did the first Mario RPG.
Yeah.
And that Squaresoft is the developer of Final Fantasy. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And they did not think, a lot of people were skeptical of Mario and RPG. How is that going to do? It was really popular. It was on the SNES, and it was so popular, everybody wanted to follow up. Everyone wants on Virtual Console. But obviously, since that partnership happened with Squaresoft, Squaresoft is not going to let them release it because they don't own all the rights. So right now, you can't get Mario RPG on Virtual Console or anything. The only place you can get Mario RPG is from playing on the original console as of right now.
Right.
But they tried to duplicate that with Paper Mario.
Yeah.
What turned into Paper Mario. It didn't start out as Paper Mario.
Yeah.
But it was actually still good. And then they had Paper Mario, other versions of Paper Mario. But I hope that this is as successful as Mario RPG, but I don't think it is. But it's nice to see Ubisoft is kind of doing the same thing that Squaresoft was back in the day.
Right. I think it's kind of cool to see a new concept, but taking characters from different games and putting them together, which is kind of cool in a mashup.
I think there's a few Final Fantasy characters in Mario RPG. Not many, but a few.
Well, it's a cool...
like Bailet.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see mashups like this because it's kind of interesting. And the Rabbids are the original minions, so
yeah,
they have the same tendencies and same ideas and same noises that the minions make.
Yeah, they yell and get themselves in the chaos.
Yeah, so that's what they're all about. Basically, more development. The Ubisoft development team traveled to Nintendo's headquarters in Kyoto on several occasions to ensure that their understanding of Mario's universe was solid and that their new take on the genre will not be covering that much before Mario, I guess.
Miyamoto even said this at E3 to everybody in the audience. He said his number one stipulation was it couldn't be anything that was done before. Right. It had to be new and unique.
So it can't be something like a side scroller. It has to be.
It can't be a Mario side scroller. It can't be anything traditional Mario. It has to be its own thing.
Yeah.
That's where they failed.
Yeah.
That is not where they failed.
Ellie's so negative.
It's just that
Ellie has no patience for turn-based games, is what it is.
No, I don't. I really don't. I just want to go and freaking slap the rabbits there and then.
Okay, go ahead. More in development.
What do you want to slap?
The rabbits.
Oh my god, nasty. All right, so art director Maru Peruni noted that it was important to capture the atmosphere of Nintendo games. However, they also wanted to combine the crazier elements of Rabbids universe with existing components of Mario. Lead producer Xavier Manzarines wanted the game to offer a deep and content-filled experience that was structured so that the game could be played in short sessions. They also felt that this format was ideal for Nintendo's Switch system, which was capable of being handheld and a home console. Ubisoft enlisted British video game composer Grant Kirkhope to compose the score for the game, and the score is actually really good. I like the music.
It's very Nintendo. It was pretty good.
The enemy of the game is the rabbit that use glasses that merge things in reality.
So this is how they explain Mario merging reality with the Rabbids.
Right.
They had a room with a girl that was making these glasses, and in the room she loved Nintendo, so there's all kinds of Nintendo stuff everywhere. But using the glasses, when she left them on the counter and left, and then something happened and started merging all kinds of crap, and that's how we end up with Rabbids with Mario.
Right. And you get to see the character on the screen right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it. If you're not, you can look up on the internet and see the Rabbids merge with the visor. Basically, he makes the minions, and he's in charge of it. Coins in this game serve as a purchasing like what is it, currency?
Yeah, currency system. So it's not like regular Mario where you get a better score. The incentive of getting coins is you get to purchase new and better weapons.
It's kind of like if any game that you're like buying, you get coins or currency for. You're like, I got to buy better stuff, so this is how I do it.
Yeah.
Solving puzzles earns the cards which unlock weapons for purchase. So you get to basically, if you find like these little chests that find little cards in them, it shows later on you can buy them in a store. So it's like, oh, I found all these cards which have these guns, and I can buy them in a little shop.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Before that, it would just have a little question mark on it. You don't even know what it is.
Right.
You just know you're missing it.
But the combat is turn-based. This is an RPG, of course.
Much like XCOM.
Much like XCOM. So if you played XCOM, and a lot of people love XCOM, it's very similar to it. And it has a very interesting like accuracy program built into it. It's like 50% hit probability,
yeah,
25%.
So you can go behind cover. There's different types of cover. There's only so many spaces you can move.
Right.
But unlike XCOM, there's different things it can do with as far as movement. If you go into a tube, when you come out the other end of the tube, you have just as much movement before you're in the tube. So it's really weird. Like with XCOM, I'm used to, you move so far, you can only move so far. Like you only have that many spaces left. But with this, if you make it to a spot, you can go the rest of the way just like you started fresh. So it's a little strange in that way.
Right. What do you mean? Like if you come into an interaction with something that makes you move, it gives you extra movement.
Right. Okay. Also, same thing. You can go to one of your team members, select them, and then you'll have another like great amount of distance you can go. And the reason you do that is because they throw you up in the air and then you land somewhere else. But I think the reason why they do that is to give you two movement phases. So phase one, you can either go through a tube, you can either jump on somebody's head, or you can attack somebody. So if you're close to somebody, you can choose to attack them, and then you can run back or go behind cover or whatever. So I think that's how it's based off of. But there's also special abilities. So you can, like from Mario, his special ability is he'll have an attack increase. He'll do more damage. Or if he sees somebody move in his sight, he'll fire at them. And then I never got to a lot like real Luigi or any of those characters, but the Rabbids Luigi has like a little bubble invulnerability shell, and it'll only last like 1 or 2 rounds. And then the Princess Peach Rabbid, which I think is kind of a really cool character. I like how they did her. She's like, there's certain scenes where she's just taking selfies behind like a big like nuclear bomb almost, and just taking selfies in front of it. And you hear the click of the phone.
Yeah.
It's got that Rabbids sense of humor to it. She has a invulnerability shell, but just for gun damage. So
The Luigi Rabbit's super adorable.
with the sideways hat.
And the shirt that goes down to his base of his
Yeah,
feet.
seems so timid.
Like a
sometimes.
tunic.
Look at him go! Look at that. He's just like clapping.
Yeah, so the gameplay is not bad, and you get some platforming, kind of, but it's just like running around. There's no like jumping or anything. You just have to solve some little tiny minor puzzles. Like the most complicated puzzle I ran into so far was just going into walls that rise up, so you have to go through like a little maze. But that's the most complicated puzzle I've ever gotten so far. The main meat of the game, that's just the middle ground between your little battles with the Rabbids. And the reason why you're battling the Rabbids is because they're causing chaos. You're trying to get to the Rabbid that has the glasses so that you can defeat them and stop the chaos. That's all there is to this game. It's very simple.
It's kind of like Mario Sunshine, where there's like corruption happening and you're trying to clean it.
Yeah, so I think
I
there's
love that game.
Nah, you're the one.
Mario Sunshine.
Mario Sunshine was great. It was so fun.
I think that's the origins of Splatoon. Is Mario Sunshine, because you're shooting water everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's set Ellie up. Okay, so
But it was Mario's more
no,
adventurous.
for real. That's like the
Mario Galaxy
origin
was
of
my favorite
Splatoon.
out of the new generations.
Mario Galaxy is great.
I love Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
played Mario Galaxy.
I hope
The
you'll
music
love
in
you would love
Galaxy's
Mario
music
Galaxy.
makes me like happy.
Wait, the gameplay's like open world and stuff?
it's
kind
not
of.
open world.
It's
really,
all
but
about Mario 64.
Shut up.
Mario Galaxy is a lot like Mario 64 because it has It has, you know how you have the castle and you go into the paintings, Ellie?
Yeah.
It's very similar to that.
But they're planets instead.
Okay, I'm
And
gonna look this
little
up.
tiny planets.
Yeah, and it's really, and the music is amazing, and then it's
What
like really
platform
fun.
was it on?
Wii.
Can we still buy it?
Yeah. I have it.
You do?
Yeah. I have Mario Galaxy 2. I never got it, but I should get it.
Can't you play it on Wii U now?
I have it. Well, yeah.
If you bought it, could you buy a copy for Wii U, or is it separate or something? Or
No, you can play. Wii U is backwards compatible.
It looks
Okay, cool.
amazing.
It is
The
amazing.
music is so good.
Oh
We'll play
my
it on the way
gosh,
home.
coming over, playing.
Okay. Well, we're
You
talking
only
about
have
we're
you
talking
only
about.
have Galaxy 2?
I only get one Galaxy
One?
One.
It's
Should
a
I
good.
get-
We're talking
should I
about Mario
buy-
Rabbids right now.
Should
So
I buy
let's,
the Galaxy 2 so then I can play that one once I'm done with one?
sure, but it's mine.
Who?
If you buy it.
Okay, that's fine. Just let me use it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Mario Rabbids right now. So
Well, who
there's-
cares about the
So
rabbit?
the Mario
Shut up.
Rabbids, game,
Who cares about
Shut
the
up. That's what we're
rabbit?
talking about.
Mario Rabbids.
There's a fucking
Can you want to
stop.
talk about the combat system in this, Will?
So I basically was talking about the combat system, but you have guns, so it's not like a traditional Mario game where you can only jump on people's heads. You use guns to shoot.
Oh.
Use guns to shoot from a distance, and like we talked about, there's a cover system.
Okay, start from the beginning. Of the levels.
So I think there's a total of 4 levels. You have the traditional kind of grassy levels that you would have in the very beginning of any Mario game. Like in Super Mario 1.
It's World 1-1.
Yeah, World 1-1. And then the second world, from what I remember, you get to see them when you're first going around the castle. Do you remember kind of the way that it looked in the original one? Yeah.
Yeah. It was supposed. It's like green and all these like little.
Well,
weird
yeah. So,
hills.
but you passed that area. So you remember the rest of the areas in the circle?
Yeah.
There was a lava one that looks like it's the last area, kind of like the Bowser land.
And then
right before
horror
that,
area.
so third from last is the ghost area.
Yeah, ghost
and Ellie
area.
saw the
Haunted
booze
house.
chained up, and she was really sad.
Yeah, it was super sad. I cried. I was like, turn around so they don't see you, so I could see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was one more land. I just don't remember what it looked like exactly.
No, that looked like hell.
It was not hell. That was the last one. I mentioned that in the beginning. I was trying to remember World 2. I don't remember what World 2 looks like.
Is it sand?
My guess would be sand.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly. I should have backtracked a little bit. But anyway, so there's a total of 4 worlds. And gameplay progresses to get harder as you go through it. There's some backtracking, like there's only certain crates you can move. You can move once you gain the ability and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of backtracking.
Yeah, but whenever that happened with the crates moving, I thought that was like such a simple move that it made me a little annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when it's like you can't move this box yet. Like, why not? It's super simple. This shouldn't be a puzzle right here. This should be a puzzle for early on to learn, not later. But anyway, moving on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Boss battles, I don't remember if there's I wouldn't say there's any boss battles in this game. Maybe there's like stronger units and they get newer abilities. But I don't think there's any boss battles in this game.
Well, if the gameplay still stays the same for the mechanic, it's just the units get better and more like when I did my second fight in this game, the units got so much more intelligent. They didn't just stand there. They actually ran after you and attacked you, and I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting."
Yeah. So once you're in the different worlds, you can anytime travel back to your hub in this game. Like
Which is the
most
castle.
Most Mario games, you have a hub, and then you can go to your different other areas just like before. And the hub is your castle, and around that, the Rabbids are building some weird stuff. You have your HQ, which is basically a big, kind of like mallet, and inside of it you can buy your weapons. And then you have the Rabbids building, and a few other things. And around there, you can access different worlds. So in the beginning, if you just want to see what the different worlds look like, you can just run around that circle. And I think they actually make you do it to progress. And to get back to that world is go to a little cannon and it shoots it back into the world that you were playing in, exactly where you left. So in that way, you can easily backtrack if you need to get to those secret boxes or whatever you need to get to. And the world design, what do you think about the world design?
I think the world designs are
It's
really
pretty.
the art design in this game is really pretty.
I agree.
I mean, it looks really good. It really is a Super Mario 64 upgrade look. I mean, it kind of looks really good.
I agree.
But, I mean, the thing about it is Super Mario games, Nintendo games are very stylized. So
I think-
is this art design.
Yeah, well, they did a very good job. It's almost like it was developed by Nintendo.
Right, but it's not.
It
It's
looks very
Ubisoft.
much like a Nintendo game.
Right, but the thing is that maybe it doesn't have the heart of a Nintendo game. Like, Nintendo games really know how to sell you the story from the beginning.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
true.
didn't feel
it was very
the-
Ubisoft in the
Yeah, very
storytelling.
Ubisoft with the storytelling. But
Yeah.
Nintendo is really good at storytelling and really good at their artwork.
But as far as the art style, I thought like it was even kind of better in the Nintendo in some ways. Some of the Nintendo games, like it's very smooth, 30 frames per second. So you don't have the 60 frames, but it's turn-based battle game, so you don't expect 60 frames. There's as far as jaggies, there's hardly any jaggies. There's really cool depth of field effect.
Right.
So anything in the background is blurred out.
Like you see on the screen right now.
Yeah, and they have some really cool creative freedom that they took and liberties. Like for example, there is a big, huge Goomba, like bigger than normal size, and it had a big chute of water going up into its butt. And you go up to it. There's a little inspection icon. You click on that, and it says, "Oh, at least his butt's clean."
Oh my god. Yeah.
And there's other situations. There's like there's a rabbit inside a toilet that has green shit around it, and he's dressed like a bee or something. I don't remember. And he's laying on something, taking a nap. And it says something about, I don't want to know how this ended up like this. Let's move on, or something like that.
So it's not very Nintendo-esque when it comes to.
Well, they said they wanted to merge Rabbids with Mario, which pretty much they did. And I think it was, as far as art design, that is as good as they could get with doing the two, I think.
Which is cool, but I mean, you know, sometimes people criticize Nintendo for being too childish. Them trying to, you know, maybe make this more adulty was their style, their idea. But I think, personally, this is my personal belief, I think it looked good. I think the gameplay is actually fun. It is turn-based. Some people don't like turn-based games. I personally love Final Fantasy, story-wise, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the jumping over people, like the using your team member to jump high. I think that's really kind of like they took inspiration. Mario jumps a lot, so what can we do as far as the turn-based gameplay style to have the characters jump really high,
right?
So without jumping high all the time. So that's what they think they did is okay, I'll have team jump, so they jump really high together.
Right, and then instead of jumping on top of each other, it's like Mario does is like lays down on his back and he flips you up.
You're right.
Kicks you out. And there's multiple ways to attack in this game, which is like sliding, like Will was saying before, and you know, using the gun, and then there's different, you know, things to attack from. But I thought it was fun for what I was playing, but it's not a game that I would play in one session. That's the truth. So I wouldn't sit here all like and beat the game in one day.
No, I agree, and I think that's part of what they remember in the development. They said they wanted the mobile platform. So I think the fact that this is a turn-based game playing this, and you take it on the go. Like I know I'd love pulling this out like just on a plane or some other place. I had to kill some time.
Right.
So I don't have to get majorly invested into it like I would in Zelda or something like that. Where like for example, I pull out Zelda just to play it for like 15 minutes. I end up playing it for like an hour because I'm trying to farm a dragon to upgrade some armor, and I have to run back to this place and run to this place, and I get distracted doing this. Well, this game is just point A to B, fight scene, done, point A to B, fight scene. So it's kind of really basic, but it's actually fun for short bursts.
Right. And it comes with the little things that you kind of get addicted to from freemium games, which is getting more stuff to upgrade other stuff. So it's kind of like, you know, the thing that people love about Destiny 2 is I need to collect more coins and collect these cards so I can get better guns or better moves or better whatever. And it adds that into it. But is it a game that I would run out and buy right now? Like, would I go outside and say, I need this game today?
No.
Personally, for me, no. But it's a fun game. I'm just throwing it out there. That's a disclaimer on my part. I wouldn't run out and buy this. Like I wouldn't be like, I need to get
that's
Mario
the thing that
Rabbids
was
today.
so conflicting for me is I don't think it's really worth buying day one.
Yeah.
I don't really think the only reason I did buy it day one, and I'll tell you, is because I'm worried for Ubisoft. This Ubisoft is really supported Wii U first at launch, right? They released Zombie U. They released a remaster of not remaster. They released a port of Assassin's Creed 3, and some other games. With the Switch, nothing at launch, and then they are working on this unique game just for Switch, and coming out. Is it going to bomb or is it going to be a success? I want it to be a success. That's why I pitched in the $50 because I didn't pay full price because of the Amazon discount. So I'm hoping it's successful. I'm hoping more people buy it. Do I think everybody will buy it? Probably not. Right. At least I did my part. I don't feel guilty. I helped Ubisoft. I'm not waiting until it's on discount just so I can buy it at a heavily discounted price.
Right. But at the same time, I understand why you're saying that, because if Ubisoft doesn't make many money off of Nintendo games,
third-party support will go bye-bye.
And then, one of the big companies that's doing third-party support for Nintendo will disappear. And then all you'll have is first support, which is only Nintendo. EA is making FIFA for it, but does that mean that's going to be popular? We'll see. I don't think so.
It's the first FIFA that'll be console quality on the go.
Yeah, but I don't know, because people like to play the online feature, which is really the part that people love, and Nintendo's online Switch stuff is absolutely terrible. My personal belief.
Well, do you talk to people on it or no?
You need to play. If you're going to play online, you need to talk. You have to play with your. If me and you are going to play together against somebody, how do we play together? If I was gonna play with somebody against somebody online, and I want to talk to them, how would I do it? On Switch, I have to use my phone. I hate that. That's a stupid idea. Third-party support needs to be. If the Nintendo wants this to be successful, maybe they should have gave them a right to do something more fun. Maybe they should say, you know what, I'm doing something. This is really fun. I'm not even going to say that. Maybe say, hey, why don't you remake something for us, and we'll put it back out. Something fun and interesting that will get more.
I think this would be cool,
appeal.
like if they did this with Smash Brothers. And you can pick your own team.
What you mean by that is have a turn-based game that's like XCOM, but instead of having it just be Mario, you want to make it all video game characters that Mario can get.
That would be cool. I would play that.
So like Mega Man, which Capcom zones,
and you'd play like kind of like this, like where it's kind of chess style, where you have to pick your characters differently.
Technically, that'd be like Mario Party, but like
kind of, but it's
but not.
He's saying
fighting.
He wants the turn-based system with that, so
Yeah,
that could be cool. I think that if they make a sequel to it, Mario Rabbids, and then have it be
you don't even need Mario Rabbids.
More than just Mario. Yeah.
It could be every enemy in every Nintendo game ever made.
Well, I think the reason why they chose Rabbids is because that's the number one property, like as far as like party games.
Because trying to sink the franchise.
That's the most Mario. That's the most Mario franchise, or I'm trying to think property
that
Ubisoft owns. Yeah,
you can't put Assassin's Creed people in this.
Right,
it would be weird because Mario gets stabbed with a knife.
Right.
Hilarious. Oh no!
But I think it's cool. For fun playing, I'm just gonna give it a quick rating. I know these two didn't play it that much, but of what I played, I'm gonna give it a quick 7.
Same here.
I mean, 7 is what I would give it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun. It took my mind off things for a little bit. Cut down that cutscene in the beginning, for God's sakes. It was like a good 5 minutes. I don't need to see 5 minutes of cutscenes. I know you're trying to do something fun. Turn-based is fun. I do need to play it more, but that's my preliminary edition. I'm going to say 7. I don't really think that my rating really counts that much compared to what Williams is.
I agree with your 7.
But the 7 is what I'm going to give it.
Yeah, I agree with the 7. I would up the ranking if they made it a little bit more fast-paced and they make it a little bit more complex.
This reminds me of Worms. You remember Worms, the computer game?
It's turn-based too, yeah.
Yeah.
But even just
but
like having abilities and weapons and whatnot.
I think it's cool.
The Worms is a very good comparison if you've never played a game like XCOM before. It's just 3D. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's very pretty. The moves are very interesting. I just think that it's not something I'm going to run out and buy. And the reason why is there's so much more out there. The competition's so high. Like Destiny's coming out next week.
Yeah.
And so
That's big.
People are gonna. I know Ellie and Will are gonna be on that. I'm not gonna talk to them for a while.
If I this is I'm saying this because I'm sad because I want to support Switch, but I think this would be most successful if they release this on phone.
Yep. Yeah, and then make it freemium.
And make it freemium.
Yeah, make it freemium. It would have made more money, and Nintendo would have had a better time with it.
I'm sad saying that because I want it to be successful, and I hope it is successful on Switch.
But it seems like games on Switch are.
I mean,
actually,
it seems like it was quick and easy for them to make.
Right.
I'm hoping.
Same with Eagle's Flight.
I'm yes, pretty much Eagle's Flight. But Eagle's Flight, I did want to support too because it was a VR game. The more VR games we want, right?
Mario in VR.
So I'm hoping that it's successful on Switch, and maybe it didn't cost them that much to make. So maybe once it goes on discount, they won't be losing that much money. So I hope it doesn't flop like crazy.
Yeah,
and they get profits.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. As of right now, I think it's fun. Not gonna run out and buy it a bunch, but I think I don't think it's gonna make that much in sales, but I could be wrong. But I think that Nintendo is lucky that so many people bought Switches, and since so many people bought Switches, they're gonna look for a game to play. You can't play
like
Breath of the Wild.
Skyrim.
You can't play Breath of the Wild for 4 months.
Yeah,
you can actually. Let me tell you, buddy.
I know, but at the same
and
time,
the new download.
You said there's big games
DLC
coming, like
Pack
Destiny
2
2 and stuff like that. It was true.
Never gonna stop.
But this is very much
can't
different
tell you
kind of
anything.
game. It's the
Like
kind of
the
game
same
where it's
damn
like
game was-
quick, short bursts are like the best way to play it because it's turn-based, especially. So at least, like I'm saying, I'm gonna be playing Destiny 2 a lot. But when I go to the toilet, I'm playing this game.
Where you go
What?
to the toilet?
You mean this is a shitter game?
but Will would play Destiny on the toilet if he could.
Yeah, he
I do
would.
sometimes with my Vita.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my goodness.
But-
No,
But
we
it's
don't
when
need
I'm
to
really
know.
farming something.
We don't
Destiny
need to
2
know.
does come out tomorrow, right?
Destiny 2.
Yeah, tomorrow it comes out. So for everyone out there, I know you guys are excited about Destiny 2. I know that Ellie and William won't be talking to anybody.
I don't know. And see, this is a problem. My face, like I don't have as much face.
She doesn't have as much time as she used to.
Yeah, I don't have as much time to play games as I used to.
Especially when you play Breath of the Wild all goddamn day.
Well, here's the thing. I play Breath of the Wild maybe average between 45 to an hour a day.
That's a lot.
And that's like the only free time I have. Destiny could easily like eat up to 3 hours.
No, yeah, no problem. I remember one time we raided for like almost 7.5 hours. I was going to lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah, so that's the problem. It's like I don't have enough time to devote that much to Destiny, so I'll be playing
We weren't
for a
very
bit
experienced
and then-
back then.
I know, but that was when it first came out. But for God's sakes, that's 8 hours.
You remember
I
that
like
time
working a shift?
You remember that time we played
at Trader Joe's where Tommy works.
You remember that one time we played Ark for like 10 hours straight?
Yeah, that sounds
and you lost
gross.
everything you did.
What'd I do?
Remember the time we played Ark for 10 hours straight and we lost everything because some
Yeah.
stupid shit when we were sleeping attacked?
Yeah, it happens, man. I mean, that game is bullcrap, so it doesn't matter.
Well, this is what I'll do, Ellie. We have 3 characters, right?
That
I'll,
game
I'll
should
save. We have 3 characters in Destiny 2, just like with Destiny 1, I believe, because there's 3 classes. So what I'll do is I'll save one of those just to play with you, so that you don't feel too far behind.
Oh, how
So-
cute.
You know, one thing I didn't like about this is that whenever I play Destiny with somebody, everyone's, I already did this on this character. You can do it on your character, and I'll play with you on my other character.
Yeah, and then it's just kind of like
I'm like, man, I just want to play with one character with you. I don't.
And now.
It reminds me of that one confession we had a while back where the guy, like, what did he do? He did something to, because I think it was like he would try to play with his girlfriend, but then his girlfriend
Oh,
couldn't
he's talking
play.
about Overwatch.
Well, yeah, it was Overwatch.
His
It
ranking and-
reminds me of that situation.
Yeah.
Speaking of confessions,
All right, listener confession. Melinda Saracen or Elmira Cat 14.
At Elmira
At
Cat.
Melmira
Or
Cat,
Elimita.
Elimira Cat 14.
Okay.
Told us,
14.
or 14, told us via Twitter. My confession is that my bunny has me wrapped around his front paw, and I love to play with my protractors and templates.
You sound like a really cool person.
you sound like you need a life.
No.
I don't know.
Ellie loves
I-
having her bunny paws wrapped around her.
Yeah, I wish. Okay.
How do they wrap around you? First
my
of all,
bunny-
number 2.
My bunnies like to bite me. They don't like me
When you have
as
a bunny
much.
like Bugs Bunny, they can wrap around you.
Number 2, are these protractors and templates being put on the bunny? Because if that's weird, what are you measuring?
The butt of the bunny.
Well, the bunnies can like pick
Circumference
up
of the butt.
protractors, and they look super cute when
Bunny
they pick up
got
things
butt.
How does your bunny pick things up? With his mouth?
with his mouth.
Do you ever say, I'm going to cook you?
No,
What? Why would you say that?
I would say,
Dead serious face. Would you cook him?
okay, you can't eat your dog because that's weird. Right? You can't eat your cat because that's weird. But you can't eat a bunny because it's normal. So you would say,
how is that normal?
you could
Rabbit
be pissed. You could be
stew,
pissed.
baby.
I'm going to cook you if you act up again. The dog goes, oh my God. You don't think
Do you
wrong?
think they use that? No, I shouldn't.
Have you ever scared your rabbit so much it took pellet poops? Like, oh
They
my
always
God,
take
blub,
pellet
blub, blub,
poops.
All these little pellets.
I scared my parents' bird and it shit itself.
The birds are pooping every 15
yeah,
to 30
birds
minutes.
can shit themselves.
Twice in a row.
Well, thank you for your confession.
Yeah,
If
that's
you'd like to
cute.
send us a confession and email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net
Send the
or send us
picture
a
next
tweet
time.
at nerdconfessions with zeros replacing the O's, which would be great if you can send us mo because we love them confessions.
And pictures of bunnies.
If
More
you want to
pictures of bunnies.
send us a picture with you, a protractor, a template, and a bunny, or you can show us a picture of you drawing a bunny with your protractor and template, we would enjoy it. Thank you very much. Or send us music. All right. Well,
Or a cooked bunny.
Well, that wraps this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions, opinions, and things that we pick our interests, which will be Dennis to. If you have any confessions you would like to discuss, feel free to send it our way. As always, we thank all our listeners for following and tuning in and supporting us, sharing us, like us, review us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Whatever you do, every little bit helps us grow. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on nerdconfessions.net. If you want a quick video of Tommy sleeping on the podcast, it'll be up on YouTube. And this is Nerd Confessions, signing off. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
I had a great nap.
So next week, Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 is
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're
You
gonna.
know, I know Ellie's
I'm
gonna
gonna be
play
playing a lot. I don't know if you are, but yeah,
Not
let's try to
this
play
week.
it some.
I know Will's gonna be pissed because he's not gonna be able to take that much time off work.
Not like before. Now I have to be there for every morning. I can't start work at noon anymore.
No, like
Have
or
a
you can't
nice
even
day,
say
guys. Bye.
That was so loud, Ellie. Just relax.
I got really excited about bunnies.
Why are you so excited about bunnies?
But you're not excited about rabbits.
Because I have one at home. 2 of them at home.
Try
that I
next
wanna
time.
get to.
Nobody cares about bunnies. They eat them.
Destiny 2 next night. Recording Monday night, and it'll be out Tuesday night. We'll see you then.
Video on Tommy sleeping.